Okay, in the last video in this series I was comparing the Passat PD130 with the Seat Leon PD150 brake horsepower, and here I've got two drivers wish maps open. Now to compare them I could go up here and use the Windows comparator, but what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to copy the axis data there, and then I'm going to go over to the Passat and click paste. Now I hate it when it suddenly does that, a little bit of colours up like that, but we'll assume that that's okay, and we'll say yes, apply that, okay. Right, now what it's done is nothing in effect, because it's showing me that all of those changes are not changes at all, are they? Because they're still black. So by doing that copy and paste, all of those changes have stayed as they were because they were the same, except that one. So that one is changed, and it's a pointer for this file, so that one has changed and I don't want that one to change. So what I would prefer for that one is to find the original value. So if I go to edit here and go down, click original value, it's gone back to the value that was there before. The only problem is all of them have gone back to the original value. Doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not worried about what the values are at the moment, but you can see that I can use that as a way of comparing these two files if I quickly just want to see what will change and what won't. So if I was to just quickly select that and say copy and then go to here and press paste, I can see what's different between that file and this one, and it looks like, as far as driver's wish is concerned, these values get changed and they increase. So when they made the driver's wish map for the 150 PD in comparison to the 130, they changed this block of values. Now it's anybody's guess why, because you'd have expected a block to change somewhere over here, because this is the high revs IQ end, injection quantity end, so you'd have expected a change over here, and maybe you'd expect that change to start somewhere around about the middle and then go towards the higher values. But why there are two odd little changes there is anybody's guess. I mean, they just are. Sometimes it's to do with economy, but I really don't know. I mean, I don't know why they've got two odd little changes there. Now you see, at this stage I could accept those changes, couldn't I? I could say to myself, well, I think I'll try the driver's wish map from the 150 in my 130 and see if it makes any difference. But if I do that, I do need to make sure I do the same with the axis, because remember what I said, the axes need to match the map. So let's assume then, okay, I'm going to accept that and I'm going to accept that. Now I'm not suggesting you do this, I'm just saying that this is what I could do. Now that number and that number there don't match, so I need to miss that one, but the rest is the same. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to go to there, which is the point at which I started the copy, and I'm going to click paste. And of course the fact that I've done that makes no difference whatsoever, because those numbers were the same. I'm just doing this to show an example. In other words, copying those numbers to here had no effect because they are the same numbers. But had they been different, I would now have blue or red showing up over here, and of course I don't, because they're the same numbers. Now I've now got a change to my file which is different. I've now got part of a PD150 in my Passat original. If I then say OK, I'm going to save that, the save button's going to refuse to work. I go back and try and press again. Say, there it goes. So if I go to save that, I'm going to be asked, what do I want this version to be? Because Windows has spotted that this is different to when I started. So I'm going to put on here some PD 150 brake horsepower changes, and at the moment in the description I'm just going to put changed to driver's wish, and I guess it would have been simpler if I'd put change to 150 BHP driver's wish. Obviously, you know, we can call it anything we like. Just a reminder to me that that's what I've done, so I'm going to say OK. And of course when I look up there now, I've got two files. Now I've got my original file and I've got this file. Now if I play around with this file anymore by comparing maps, it will probably make sense for me to carry on using this one, the one that's open at the moment, the one that's got some changes. So if you look at later videos and see that it says some PD 150 brake horsepower changes, that'll be the reason, because I don't want to end up with umpteen different files so that every file has got a different name. So I will probably accept all changes into the same file as I go on. Right, I'll stop there and come back at a later date.